Okay, let me just check on YouTube. All right, perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome back into your beloved show. It's back here, the U-turn, and today I have one of my amazing friend, an incredible human being. We have a story to tell that can really give you an idea how you can turn any obstacle in your life into opportunities. So, without wasting any further time, thank you so much, Devin, for taking time out of your busy schedule and be here with me on the reopening of my U-turn show. Welcome to the show, Devin. How are you?
I'm good, man. Firstly, I wanted to say, Suki, thank you very much for letting me come on to your show. So I'm very grateful, and I appreciate you for reaching out for me so that I can help, people with the story that I'm gonna say and speak about, and to inspire people. So it's a great opportunity for me to do that as well. And I think people should also know that you were my mentor before, and when we reached out and spoke, you helped me at the beginning of the Da Vinci Code, so would love to speak about that, and how much of a great mentor
That's right.
Suki was and still is a mentor to me, because the stuff that you have been teaching yourself, I'm still doing the same with Neville Goddard, still doing Bob Proctor stuff, and I'm bouncing off that, still with the power of the subconscious mind. Everything that you taught me about that book, I'm still, the stuff you've told me to highlight, I haven't read anything else on that book. Every chapter you've told me when we used to do the coaching calls, I've done nothing, because remember what Proctor talks about.
That's right.
Proctor talks about repetition. You don't need to keep searching for new. I've stayed with that, and
Yeah.
the one thing that stick with me: when you're going to sleep, 5 minutes, whisper to yourself, wealth, success, wealth, success, wealth. Always doing it, man.
Exactly. And that's the basics, of success. Just do what makes you feel boring, right? The success is not always finding new solutions. It's about just sticking to what you already know and keep expanding on that idea, right? So before we move further, Devin, I would love you to give a little introduction to our audience. Like, what do you do right now in your life? Just to give them a brief idea where you are right now before we dig back to the story, where from it begins. So just a
Sure,
little bit
sure,
about
sure.
yourself to my
Sure,
audience.
man. So at the moment, okay, I am a men's transformation coach, and you can see behind me, we create this brand actually to really help and inspire men to become, I like to say, men again, and we'll go deeper into that sort of mindset. But the job for me is to not help men physically transform, but also mentally transform. And you could see that these pictures here prove that for you to go through a physical transformation, you must go through a mental transformation first. So the Da Vinci Code isn't fitness, okay? It's a lifestyle. It's about making the men become the best versions of themselves.
That's right, Da Vinci. And I really love the way, even I still follow you on your social media and all that stuff. I see how amazingly you have incorporated everything that you have learned about mindset and how you're, now blending both of these things and bringing into your fitness business. Because as we know, whatever we see in our mind, that is ultimately is going to manifest on the outside. So I can say that you are transforming people from inside out, not just outside, right? And that is a really big thing about what you do, and I absolutely appreciate that, right? Now, by the way, I really love your tagline, turning pawns into kings. It's a cool one. Right?
You have to,
Amazing one.
you
All
got
right.
it. Yeah, it's a powerful one.
That's right. Okay, so let's go to the starting of your story, Devin. Let's take us back in the history books. All right. Tell us something about when you had this idea just in your mind. What what initiated this idea in your mind in the very first place, David?
Are you asking me about the idea of the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah, about the Da Vinci Code. Like, let's go 5, 6 years back when you was in your corporate job. I know that you can share a little bit about with our audience, like what you used to do 5, 6 years ago, and how you came up to the conclusion that this is what you want to do. Because you know that there are many people who struggle with that decision, right? They know from their inside that this is what they want to do, but somehow they keep procrastinating it. So, how did you how does that idea came to your mind, and what was the key point that really helped you to say that, all right, enough is enough, that's what I'm going to pursue?
Yeah, so I think when you're a very young child and you can't fit into society properly, or you can't do what society tell you to do, such as be
Right.
academic. You got to go to school, you got to be academic. You got to get a really good
That's right.
job, and you got to do all of that. Now, when I tried that, I feel like I have got good intuition. Obviously, Bob talks about that, but I knew deeply within myself, in
That's
my
right.
soul, that I wasn't destined for this whole 9 to 5 and being robotic and then being told what to
Yeah.
do. So every time at school, a teacher would tell me what to do, or people would say you have to go down this route. In my head, I was like, no, 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 I don't need to go down no route. I need to go down the route I need to go. But it wasn't a mental thing. It was a feeling within my heart. It was a soul feeling saying, Dev, you're not destined for this corporate
That's right.
world. You're destined for something else. And I knew within me that I had something special for self-development, because I knew that I couldn't do the academic things and I couldn't go down these jobs. I got sacked from so many jobs, never could make it in any jobs. So the only route for me was self-development. Self-development was
That's
the
right.
only route for me.
That's right.
And I said to myself, the only way I'm going to find myself and the life that I need to live is I need to get into self-development. And then I realized that
Yeah.
I enjoy doing sports. But then I said, look,
Okay.
let me become a personal trainer. And then, but I had a really deeper vision than being a personal trainer. I had a deeper vision than just being a personal trainer.
That's right. That's right. And I really love the way, you have said that, that it was a feeling within your mind, in your heart, right? From within that it's a feeling that was telling you that this is not the path for you. All right. And I believe almost every person has that feeling within their heart one point of time, when they know that they have to quit something that they're doing, and they have to move on to something that their heart wants them to do, right? If you have to tell them one suggestion that you have applied by yourself, what would that suggestion will be to cross the barrier from whether I should do it to end up actually doing it? Like, what was your
Yeah.
biggest motivation at that time?
Generally, I think it's a few things. As men, I've realized that if you bring no value, or you're not successful to whatever level you want to get to, you're very disposable as men. Okay. And men, they thrive of respect. And I think it made me realize that I'm actually not where I need to be as a man. Okay. And I said to myself that I'm not, no one's really listening to who I am. No one's really, seeing who's this Devin, this guy with no education. So that really egged me on, and all the doubters egged me on. So I think what you need to do is, if you are doubted in your life, or if you feel like you have an idea, you have to remember that you've got to learn to make decisions, okay? Because decisions are what is going to lead you on to the next road that you need to go on. And talking about decisions, obviously Bob Proctor from Think and Grow Rich talks about decision, and it was just a decision I had to make. I said, either if I don't make this decision, I'm going to regret it, or if I made this decision and it fails, we go again.
That's right. That's correct. So, that's really powerful. And, I believe that there is something that I always, keep in my mind, that whenever I'm about to make a decision, I always question myself, right? And there are many people who do that unconsciously, but if they do it consciously, those questioning, it can really help them, right? Because people are scared of making decisions, right? But I think they should change their perception, and they should ask themselves, what if they succeed? What if that idea that is in their mind that clicks, right? Because people are paying so much attention to, what if it goes wrong? What if I end up being broke? So you see how the perception is completely messed up in people's life, right? So what do you think about the idea of perception? Because I know you have been studying, personal development stuff, ideas about that, the thing of perception. So when it comes to perception, do you had tough time when you started working on this idea? And how did you overcome those tough times by changing your perception, David?
Yeah, really good question. So again, perception is it's something I didn't know about until I started listening to Bob and looking at what I need to do in terms of how can I change my
Yeah.
mindset towards these things. And there's a thing that Bob says, correct me if I'm wrong, he says, don't look at how you can't do it, look at how you can do it. And then that always
Mhm.
stick with me because
That's right.
it was like I used to look at things. The first thing I used to do is look at something and think how I can't do it. Oh, I can't make money. Oh, I can't build a business. That's my first. But I said, hold on,
That's
let's scrap that mindset and let's think about how I can
Mhm.
do it. How can I look at
Yeah.
something and look at, right, this is how I do it. So
Yeah.
for me, when we went through the journey of building the Da Vinci Code, you set me out some
Mhm.
affirmations, and the
Mhm.
affirmations is what started changing my
Yeah.
perception. So every time the old paradigm kept coming in, the affirmation would override
Mhm.
that. So I
Yeah.
would start to go in a my perception. It would be my old
That's
paradigm,
right.
new paradigm, fighting each other, but the new paradigm started overshadowing the old paradigm, and then it
Yeah.
became a mindset to realize that bloody hell, do you know what? Life
That's right.
is how you look at it.
Mhm.
Life is actually how you look at it. You know, for example, we walk around in life.
That-
Okay, if you've
That's
got a lack
Mhm.
mindset, yeah, that's your perception. But if you look around in life,
Mhm.
yeah, we have abundance everywhere you look. And
Mhm.
if you are grateful for that abundance, bang, you get way more come to your life.
That's right. Mhm. Exactly, exactly. And like these ideas are really, really powerful. And that's what I really like about you, what you're doing right now. I have already said it earlier, but I just want to keep repeating this idea that every single thing, whatever people are doing in their life, it doesn't matter their profession or vocation, it is very important that they integrate the idea of building that kind of constructive mindset. Because when the mindset is sorted out, everything else really shapes up the way it has to shape up, right? And it is really, really, really vital idea, right? Now, moving forward, now when you have are actually living your dream, how does it makes you feel about the decision that you made a few years ago to actually pursue that, David?
It's actually it's crazy. It's generally very crazy. Like
Yeah,
manifestation is real. Manifestation is real, whether you like that or not. Manifestation is real.
that's right.
Okay, if you know how to
Hmm.
manifest and you visualize
Hmm.
and you put in the work,
Yeah,
yeah, you put in the work. Where people think they
that's
read the secret, they read the secret one
right.
book and they think they're going to manifest. No, no, no. It's constant repetition of studying stuff. And this is what you taught me. This is what Bob's taught me.
That's right.
And
That's right.
the fact that I wasn't living this where I'm living now, I had already lived it 2 years ago in my head.
That's right.
And
Exactly.
and and we
That's
spoke about
correct.
this on WhatsApp with Neville Goddard's feeling
Hmm.
is the secret. Convict that
That's right.
you already have it.
That's right.
And
That's correct.
one of my affirmations with you is very personal. I won't say it on here, but everything we said on them
Yeah.
affirmations that we created together, it's happened already.
Yeah.
But I was living that in my brain
That's right.
before it ever happened. And the
That's right. That's
feeling
right.
is
And the, you know, yeah, yeah. Continue. Continue.
sorry, the feeling is now believable, but at the time it was like wow, like why everything I'm like visualizing is stepping is coming. It was just like the door opened and now I'm just in control and the manifestation is happening. And it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy if you can embark on a manifestation journey and take it serious, shit fucking happens.
That's right. That's absolutely right, David. I still, when you were sharing all that stuff, I remember the one conversation that we had when you was working in the job, right? And I think that was the first time when you told me, you said me that I'm on my way back to home. I think you was taking a tube or something like that. You were sitting in the cafe, and at that day, we had this conversation about decision making and all that stuff. And that reminds me about a great memory that we have, like from where we have begun, in the days. And now when I look at yourself, you look at you, the progress that you have made, the transformation that you're creating, even I feel so happy and grateful about that, right? Because those dreams that you have built, you know that in your mind at that time, you can actually feel that. Not initially it was like, will I be able to do it or not, but you have that kind of excitement within your heart that what if I actually end up doing that, right? And you see
Mm.
that's how things keep happening one step at a time, and you keep moving forward, right? Now I believe that whenever we start working towards a goal, it's not always a cakewalk, it's always like a roller coaster journey, right? So when somebody start moving in the direction of their goal, they are bound to meet with challenges, right? What will be your key suggestions to those people who are going after their goals, but they're feeling a lot of resistance? What they can do in that moment so that they can really keep going, keep pursuing their dreams, and don't quit in the middle of the things? What will be your suggestions for that, David?
Good question. I think it's all about understanding that success is never
Mm-hmm.
linear, and success is never going to be when you wake up in the morning and say this is how success is, straight success. And you going towards your goal is always going to be up and down, come up and down, up and
That's
down.
right.
So if you can realize that success and going towards your goals is like a stock market, some days you're going to go up, some days you're going to go down. um, you
That's
will
right.
then create thick skin, and then when you
Mm-hmm.
create thick skin, okay, that's what's going to make you become consistent and persistent. Because obviously
Mm-hmm.
in Think and Grow Rich, it says even if you are at a point where you feel like nothing is happening, be persistent. Be persistent. And I think it was
That's right.
Dale Carnegie's quote. Correct me if I'm wrong. He said, "What's the carbon is like man
Well,
to steel."
yeah, that's right. It's persistence. It's the definition of the
Yeah,
persistence. Exactly what you said. The persistence is like carbon to a steel. Persistence to a man is like carbon to a steel. That's correct. And it's really,
hundred
really
percent.
key element. Like most people look at persistence and they see it as a struggle, right? But actually, if you look at persistence, you should look at something as improvement. Because you see, when you look at persistence as a struggle, that creates the mindset of suffering, right? But when you look at persistence as improvement, that creates the mindset of growth. You see, so it's the difference of how we look at things, right? And I think that's
Mm.
how Wayne Dyer put it in very beautiful ways. He said, when we change the way we look at things, the things we are looking at changes, right? But actually, they were already there.
100
It's how we have been looking at them, right?
100%, 100%. Like this shed is at the back of my mum and dad's garden. It was a battered shed. It had nothing going on. I could have looked at it and said, "Do you know what? Nothing can ever happen here. It's just a
Mhm.
dull ass shed." But my perception changed, and I said, "No, I'm going to change the
Yeah,
shed. I'm going to make it into something magic." So 100%, you have to look at it,
yeah,
look at how you look at things change. And also, I think the most important thing is if you're going for goals, you have to be serious. You've got to be very serious, at, and you've
yeah.
got
That's right.
to start to hang around with people who are the same frequency as you, same mindset as you, same goals as you. I think if you're trying to become successful and hit
Yeah,
goals, and you've got
yeah.
people around you that are not on the
That's right.
same vibe, the same frequency, they're doing
Mhm.
things that don't match your frequency of your values, you won't be able to hit your goals and you won't be able to go up in life. And I think that's really, really important, is who you hang around with.
That's correct. That's exactly correct, David. And when you were sharing that story of turning that shed into your gym space, that takes me back to a concept that most people actually don't apply, right? There was a quote from H.L. Hunt which says that start from wherever you are with whatever you have. And this is exactly what you have done in your journey. And when I look at back at myself, going back to 2015, 16, even I started my studio from my storeroom, right? It was like half of the storeroom that I utilized, and then slowly and steadily I turn it around, and this is exactly what you have done, starting from the garage, right? Turning it around. I still remember that photo that is on your Instagram. So anybody who's watching it right now, go and check out Devin's page. You will see that journey, the transformation from where he built the code, which is here right now. And there is a lesson in behind that, and it's about utilize the resources that you have right now, right, David? I want you to speak about this idea, David, because we both have done that, but I want to listen from you that how important it is to utilize the resources that you have and not just wait for the resources to appear.
Yeah, good question. I think with the coaching of Bob and the manifestation, I had a lot of doubts in my brain because it was like, this is just a shed in my mom and dad's garden. And, you think about it in your head, right? Nobody knows who I am. Nobody knew who I was, right? I'm in the back of my mom and dad's garden. And I'm thinking, how am I going to get clients? I'm building this studio, but no one knows who I am. No one knows who I am. So in the back of my head, I had doubts.
That's right.
But then, Proctor's teaching and all the teachings that I've taught myself, I eliminated the doubt with faith.
That's right.
And I said to myself,
that's correct.
No. The universe is going to align me what I want. I'm going to send it out to the universe, and it's going to work. I don't know how, but it's going to work. And that's because I had faith. I never listened to anybody. Everybody said to me, Dev, there's too many PTs. Dev, there's too many coaches. Oh, Dev, this shed that you've got, it's only at the mom and dad's garden. No one's going to find you. I said, no. I'm too strong for that, right? And you know what I did? Every single day before I met you, on my laptop, I put out as a full diary every day. I didn't have any clients.
That's right.
I didn't have any clients. And I kept saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a full personal training diary that I'm now training and transforming all these people. Affirmed it. And it was like, fucking hell, I'm sounding a bit mad. Lockdown. We came out of lockdown. Suki, I'm not lying to you.
Yep.
Bang. Diary's filling up like that. So I think it's about I think it's about having faith in your idea.
That's correct. And I still remember, we used to have a lot of conversation when we used to have our coaching calls around this idea that, whenever the clients are coming up and the clients are, leaving or something like that, we always have that old paradigms trying to sneak in back, like you see people come and going, but we kept on holding on to the idea that, I still see that diary is full. I still see people are coming. We hold on to that idea of prosperity, and you see the proofs are there today, right? Your diary is full and you have expanded. And I remember that, last year when we were working together, you was thinking about doing it online, and you see how you have integrated it now. It is there. It is running. All those ideas, that you have thought about, they are running, right? That's
100%.
Awesome. Now,
you're right. It's all, like you said, it's all about self. It's a self-belief thing, Suki. It's about self-belief. It's really important. So if anybody's watching this, you need to remember the only person that's going to believe in you is yourself.
That's right. That's correct. And when you believe in yourself, then you attract those people who believe in your belief, right? And that's how it works. It starts with you, all right? Now,
100%.
We have like 6 to 7 minutes more. So, Devin, now I'm going to drop a bombshell on you. I'm going to give you a task to talk about something that is the foundation of everything. I'm just going to show you the photo, and then you will speak about it. Let's talk about this. The gold cast.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Do you know what? Oh, you're so lucky. I've got it here. The same gold card.
Awesome.
What's this?
Sure. Here you go. The gold card, right?
This is the same gold card.
The same.
Me and you. Yeah, the same one.
We created.
Obviously, I've topped something else on top of it.
Yeah.
Look in my wallet. Now, gold cards are, I think Suki made me do a gold card. I never really did it. Bob Proctor talked about it, but it was so powerful because when we did the gold card, I started to read the gold card out loud every morning for my affirmations. Okay.
That's right.
And then at night, I started doing it. And the biggest thing I got from this gold card was when I put it in my wallet, every time I touched my wallet, I had a signal to my brain that reminded me that the goal that I want, I'm already still living it right now. So we see this a lot, but act as if is what that gold card made me do. It acted like everything on that gold card hadn't come true, but it's come true now. But it's because I was acting it out then.
That's right.
Like I was living it, and it's mad. Suki, you know what the funny thing is? Some people can never, ever comprehend what I'm saying here. It will not happen because it's too deep.
That's right.
Yeah. The average Joe Blogs will look at Bob Proctor's work and be like, what's he talking about? Yeah.
That's right.
Some people are too unconscious into their thinking. There's a lot of work for these people to do. But I think if you can tap into what Bob is saying, you tap into all these guys, oh boy, your life can change.
That's right. And you see, the funny part is that what we write on our goal cards, right? This is coming from way back in the history, right? It is coming from Napoleon Hill. And even before that, it was Andrew Carnegie, who approved those 6 steps that we are following, right? And if anybody goes back in the history and they check out that, the Bruce Lee statement of DVNCi fame, they will realize that this is serious stuff, right? This is not just a bunch of, motivation thing that you're talking about. It has deep meaning in that, right? And just to give you an idea that the listeners who are listening that don't know about goal card, so it's a tool that we use in our personal development and mindset, coaching that we do, that you write a goal that you want for yourself, and then every single day you affirm it and you believe that it is right now, right here in front of your eyes. Even if you see no clue of it happening, you still see in your mind's eye that it is there. You know what happened when you start seeing that in your mind? It starts creating that image, and slowly and steadily you will build up the belief that leads to the action. Right now, I really want you to talk about the action part also, Devin, because there are many people who start studying mindset, positive psychology. They tend to think that things will fall for them, and they tend to eliminate the idea of that there has to be an action element involved, right? So before we wrap up, let's talk about the action element, before we come to the conclusion of our podcast. Talk about action, Devin.
Cool. No, I think that's really important what you said also regarding the goal card. Firstly, saying that the affirming to believe it, like you got to read that goal card and you got to believe it's already happened. That's super important. And also regarding action, I think it's really important that you can read all these books. You can read, 10 books a month, right? But I can tell you something now. I can read 1 book a month, the same book for 3 months, and I'll be more successful than the man that's read 10 books in a month. Because if you look at that quote, what Bruce Lee says, he says, don't fear the man that's practiced 10,000 kicks.
Exactly.
I think it was 10,000 times. Practice the man that's fear the man that's practiced the kick. The same kick 10,000 times. Yeah. So it's about learning what the book says or learning what you have to do and then taking action. And the problem is that people get it's decision fatigued. They get too many options and there's too many books telling them different things. The most important thing is you learn from the book and then you decide to take action, because action is what's going to move you into the next step of your success. Then the next step, like I said, you can read so many books, but I just think that just is kind of like fooling you. I think action, learning and taking action instead of constantly learning and not putting your knowledge into action is what's really going to detriment your success.
That's absolutely right, Devin. So the idea is the repetition. It's the repetition. The more you practice these ideas again and again, the more better you will absolutely become. All right. So thank you so much, Devin. It has been absolute incredible conversation that we have. I hope you have loved it, and I believe that people has really got something out of it. Even if you get one idea out of our conversation, go ahead and practice that idea 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, guys. And we can bet you will have far better results in your life than you're having right now. So before we leave, Devin, so where you are seeing yourself in 5 years from now, and what suggestion you have for people? like from your experience, what you will love to say people right now
Listen, 5 years
about personal
time, okay,
development, physical fitness, and all that stuff.
5 years time, man, all I want to be known for is to help men and change their lives. That's the only thing I want to do now. Is I've done it before, and I'm going to help men change their lives.
Awesome.
And the DVNCi Code blueprint is there, okay, and I'm teaching and I'm learning, and I'm becoming a coach to be able to help men just find their feet again. And one more thing to men is that if you want to be where you need to be, okay, number one thing is you gotta be stubborn. Become stubborn. When you become stubborn, okay, you say no to things that don't align with your values. Okay, when you're saying no to things that don't serve you more, okay, that's where you start to become your own boss and the own CEO of your life. And then from there, you start to plan out things that will move you towards your success. So, Suki, just wanted to say thank you very much for letting me come onto your podcast. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you very much. And last but not least, guys, if you need a mentor, okay, Suki is the guy for you. If you need to sort your mindset out, okay, you need to sort out the way you think, your perception, Suki is a great mentor. And what you're seeing here behind me is what Suki was a part of at the beginning of my journey.
Thank you so much, Devin. It really means a lot to me. And if any one of you are fed of how you looks like and how you think, you know who has to contact. It's right there, DVNCi, the code. All right, go to the code, transform yourself from inside out. All right. Thank you so much, Devin. It was awesome talking to you. I'm looking forward to have more future conversations, but I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and I'll speak to you pretty soon again. Thank you so much, everybody who has been watching our podcast today. Thank you.
See you later. Bye. Bye.
You too, Devin. You too. Take care. Bye.